Have you ever had thoughts when you wake up of, wow, where is my life gone? It's just going by so fast and I haven't really done anything. Maybe you're not as old as I am. As I get older, I have those thoughts. I think, wow, is my life getting shorter and I need to do all these things that I like to do? Well, just recently, after the New Year's and the year-end vacation, I had such thoughts. I thought, whoa, the vacation's over, and I had this list of things I wanted to get done, and I didn't get them done. Maybe you have those times. I always have a to-do list that is much longer than my lifespan, probably. And I just keep chugging along and getting all of that done as much as possible, but never accomplishing it completely. I thought I'd like to do more kind acts, like random acts of kindness, but I don't have time for that either. So many people in Japan have showed me kindness, and I'd like to give back to them in some way. I love to do needlework, and I have made, for my students sometimes, I've made little bags, Christmas bags that are patchwork, and hundreds of them. Yeah, I did. And it was so much fun, and anticipating how they would feel when they received such a gift. Well, I'd like to do that. For example, some of the farmers nearby us that have given us of their produce, or they've showed us how to do things in farming, and I'd like to do something for them. And I got the idea, well, why not knit them hats or something, because it's cold out there and I've got a lot of yarn and I can knit. But unfortunately, the time is the factor. Whoa. Well, you may have heard my other video about forced Sabbath. I encourage you to listen to it. That will help you save a little time in your life, I'm sure. But what I'd like to talk about today is what I label as needlework evangelism. There were so many examples in the Bible of women who used what they had to show kindness to other people, and it made a difference. And that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to make a difference in my life, wouldn't you? Number one, and I'm going to read from my devotional diary that I use every day so that I won't forget. Number one that I thought of was Lydia. She was a seller of purple, and she was a businesswoman, and she used her skills to make a difference in the community. Another one, about the time of Saul's conversion, he was a rogue renegade guy who got saved and turned around his life, and he became Paul, the Apostle Paul. But around the time that he was being changed, there was a disciple, a woman named Tabitha. She was also known as Dorcas. And she showed kindness and charity. When she died, all of the widows stood around weeping and showing the tunics and other clothing that Dorcas had made while she was still with them. So she made an impression on her community, that's for sure. There's more to the story that I saw on this day. This was in January of this year. Peter, the Apostle Peter, he was in a different town, and then he had to travel to Joppa. A messenger came to him with an urgent message. It says, "Come without delay, come without delay." And it was because Tabitha, or Dorcas, had died. The rest of the story is Peter raised her from the dead, and many people believed because of it. So you never know when you make these tunics, or you make these little bags, or you make these little hats, or you make these little things that you do. Maybe you make an apple pie or a mean stew, who knows? Whatever you do, and you do it with all of your might, and you do it with all of your heart to show kindness to someone else, it can, I don't know, maybe get you raised from the dead if you need that. But it can make a difference. So I want to encourage you today to do what your hands find to do. There is another couple verses I'd like to share with you. One is in Ecclesiastes 9:10, and this is in the New King James Version. Whatever your hands find to do, do it with your might. For there's no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. Yeah, that's a rude awakening, isn't it? You won't be able to do good after you're gone. And that's a no-brainer. So the time is now to do good to other people. And another verse I'd like to share is in Ecclesiastes 11:1. And this is in the Amplified Version. Cast your bread on the surface of the waters. Be diligently active. Make thoughtful decisions, for you will find it after many days. And that's what Dorcas did. She didn't plan to find it after she died and came back and figured it out, but she just went on making tunics and clothing for the people in need, and one day she was in need. And they all came around. They were her fan club, and they came around and they urged the disciple Peter, the apostle Peter, to do something, and he did. And it was a great ending to a story. So I encourage you today, if you can't do needlework evangelism, do apple pie evangelism or beef stew evangelism, whatever works for you. And have a great day.